Sexton tries to move Ireland back into attacking position, courtesy of the defensive work of his skipper.
There's a great atmosphere here. Just seeing all the Irish driving around in the camper vans yesterday and today was a great sight, and they're obviously enjoying themselves here in New Plymouth.
They'll be enjoying themselves a lot more if they can get points on the board. The driving point of that maul, Rory Best with his hands on the ball. Once again, the hooker just trying to steer the ship. Now he releases it. Conor Murray with his first burst. He's very much a Mike Phillips type of scrum half, isn't he? You can see a lot of the similar traits, similar bulk, similar body style.
Yeah, he's a really physical player. You see a great break for him there. He has power through the tackle, very dynamic, and a guy who, if he gets confidence at this level, can go on and do great things for Ireland. He's certainly going to put pressure on Owen Redden and Isaac Boss for a starting place here. And there's probably a show of intent from Declan Kidney today to select Conor Murray, given Ireland play Australia next week. So it's a big call, and I think he has a great opportunity to try and nail down a place for himself here.
Certainly major opportunity for the young man.
He's pretty lucky there when you look back in the replay. I think he got isolated, so I'm not sure that was an Irish penalty. I think it could have went the other way because Todd Cleaver was on his feet trying to play the ball.
Well, all the Irish fans are worried about is it's Jonathan Sexton lining up this kick from in front of the posts. And after a quarter of an hour, at last Ireland are on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and it's no more than they deserve. I think they've been really dominant in the scrum, in the maul. They've been really direct, and I think you know, they haven't given USA a sniff yet in really bad conditions here. And you know, I'm pleased with the way Ireland have started, and it's no more than they deserve to get in front.
Sexton, who was such a key part, of course, of Leinster and that fantastic win against Northampton. Now 14 points in the Ireland defeat of England as well at the end of the Six Nations. More and more you see him making such an impact on the teams that he's playing in now. Who's that? Trying to barrage his way through two Eagles defenders. And Sexton doing very well to recover. And you can just see how sodden this turf is. Not sure whether the players have got blades or studs on, but must feel like they've got skates on at times. Tommy Bowe sends a kick through, brings over Blaine Scully, the young American fullback. Good counter-rucking. Is that? I thought it was going to come back Ireland side, but in fact it's Best who's penalised.
Yeah, he wasn't holding his supporting his own weight. It was a good kick from Tommy Bowe up the wing, and Ireland just went off their feet there. Rory Best. I prefer to see Ireland. Sexton did very well there. He slipped on the ground, but prefer to see Ireland just clear their lines, kick the ball up the field, come up in a line and put pressure on the USA defence, force them to kick back.
You've obviously seen a lot of Ireland over the past year, 2 years. Have they looked to change their style noticeably?
Yeah, well, I think in the warm-up games they tried to be a little bit too expansive, didn't get their set piece right, didn't be more direct at the start of games. That's what pleased me tonight and the start of this World Cup. They need to be direct. They have the quality in the back line, but they need to get their forwards carrying, rumbling. It's great to have Ferris back in the team as well, and you know, get Sean O'Brien back in with him. You've two massive ball carriers.
Andrew Suniola feeds on to his midfield partner. Paul Emery sets the ball back. Again, not going anywhere fast. Suniola, the junior, unable to get up over halfway. Hayden Smith tries to make a dent in that green line, and in the end the kick is forced from Petrie. Just watches it rumble into touch.
Yeah, it's a good kick from Petrie. Good defence from Ireland there, forced him into kicking. You've seen that a couple of times from him so far. Just trying to put the ball in behind Keith Earls there. He probably was a bit too far forward. But good defence from Ireland. I think something that's it was probably one of the bonuses in the campaign was their defence was quite good in the World Cup warm-up games.
Great leap and take from O'Connell. He really is a marvellous athlete in the middle of that line-out. Best allows his scrum half to get the box kick, but it's blocked. And here is an opportunity for the Eagles. It's Todd Clever, the captain. Captain America, they call him. Ball is slowed down. Suniola tries to thread the kick through, but it's going nowhere, and Rory Best is over there quickly.
Number 2 green in front of the obstruction. In front of a kick.
From an offside position, that was almost inadvertent offside.
Yeah, it was a poor kick from Conor Murray. He had a lot of time at the back of the maul there, and you know, Ireland putting pressure on themselves. What I spoke about earlier, they need to clear their lines, get out of the 22, because it's the only way the USA seem to be putting any pressure on them from Ireland's couple of mistakes in the last few minutes.
Well, it's going to be a first penalty opportunity for James Patterson as we see what led to the penalty award. See that kick just coming in from Rowan Suniola. There was the ricochet off Murphy, and well, Best making most of an instinct.
Yeah, he was ahead of the kicker. It was unfortunate for him. I'm not sure Sean Pittman was onside there at the side of that maul when I looked at the replay again from the block down, so maybe it was being a bit too harsh on Conor Murray.
Now, big pressure on this young man, James Patterson. He's actually a Kiwi. He's got dual citizenship. His mother's from the States. He got his first cap against Japan in the last warm-up test before America arrived here. Born in Christchurch, played for Canterbury, moved south to Southlands and played for the Otago Highlanders in the Super 15. But now, not only is he playing in this match, well, I was about to say he's taking on the responsibility, tried to bend that one round with the wind. It's not working on that occasion. But big pressure on the left winger, being asked to take on that responsibility. That said, moving into the second quarter of the game and only 3 points the difference, will the Eagles be relatively happy with their work so far?
Yeah, I think they'll be pleased. You know, Ireland, although they've been dominant, they haven't shown that dominance on the scoreboard. It's pretty difficult to play out there as well, Simon. The conditions, you see the rain coming down, another knock on from Darcy, and the mistakes are starting to creep in a little bit. But Ireland just need to stick to their game plan, be really direct, like they did in the first couple 10-15 minutes, and they have to be patient, as we've seen the first couple of games. They need to be patient, not force it.
Darcy, who made one appearance in the '99 World Cup and then had to wait till 2007 to add to that. Became the youngest Irishman in Rugby World Cup history for that match in '99 against Romania.
Touch, pause, engage.
Again, great power from the Green 8, but Ngwenya has the ball, skating to a halt, but the ball's set back for Petrie. Roland Suniola feeds outside to Emmerich. Emmerich spins out of one tackle, lassoed by Darcy. Again, the ball moved back in. This time it's Teal, Phil Teal, making the most of his start at hooker. Mike McDonald, special day for him. He led the teams out to celebrate breaking the American record. His 63rd cap, taking on one past Luke Gross. Petrie eventually digging the ball out. There's Hayden Smith again. Through the legs from Andrew Suniola, picked up by his brother. America happy to throw the ball about, but it's only taken them backwards. That's halfway, and Ireland will be quite happy to see that sort of indecision from Blaine Scully. It's forced the Eagles back into their own half, and they're going to have to think again and/or kick. And Suniola sends it back behind Earls once again, but this time doesn't find touch. Well, we've mentioned before that the different setups between these two teams, but very different setups that they've had to work from over the past few months.
Absolutely, the USA only came into camp in August. Speaking to Eddie O'Sullivan this morning, he had to he organised a training camp in July in Denver for a couple of the players, and they went and trained there at their own expense, fed themselves at their own expense. So there's really a massive contrast in the preparation for this World Cup, and they don't get any government support. And you know, obviously a lot of these guys are in the shop window trying to get professional contracts after the World Cup, and it's you know, it's a massive ask for the USA to come and do well at the World Cup against higher ranking teams like Ireland.
Certainly half of this squad have got full-time jobs, so I'm told are taking unpaid leave in order to be over here. You've got a fair few that will be familiar names, particularly to followers of English rugby. Mentioned Mike McDonald, of course, at Leeds. Sean Pittman, the tight head, he's been almost ever present at London Welsh. Sifa and Usaz there at Nottingham, Wiles and Smith I mentioned at Saracens. Andrew Suniola going to Cornish Pirates after this tournament. But it is a very different working regime in which they have to cope during this tournament. Johnson desperately trying to get his team onto the front foot, get a bit of go forward. Suniola to Suniola. This time the kick was threaded through, and Jordan Murphy happy to watch it just find that far touchline.
And it's interesting to see the USA have shortened their line out to 5 men, and they're trying to win a lot of ball at the front, take it off the top and get Suniola over the gain line, which he did there very well. And they're pretty powerful boys, the two brothers, Suniola brothers, 10 and 12.
Well, the 14th set of brothers, or there's 14 sets of brothers, I should say, that are in this Rugby World Cup. The first set that have taken to the starting lineup so far. Good breakaway from Best. He really is making more and more of an impact on this Irish side. Played in all the Six Nations games in the last 5 years. Really resolved that hooker position, the battle with Jerry Flannery, albeit Flannery's had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, Flannery's been out for a couple of years, and it's great to see him back in action again. He's really struggled since he got injured training with the Lions in 2009. You talk about Rory Best, he's probably question marks about his throwing, but he's such a durable, robust player and very physical.
And of course those memories of him for 2007 are particularly poignant with the retirement of brother Simon.
Yeah, of course, Simon, yeah, that was a massive disappointment for Simon, but you know, Rory's gone on to play a lot of games for Ireland, had a lot of success.
Sexton sends it into the opposition 22. And Blaine Scully, one of those young men that is looking to make an impression, made his debut for the Eagles. There he is in the Churchill Cup Bowl final against Russia at the end, well, beginning of June, I beg your pardon. Graduated from UCLA and now hoping that this will be the shop window that may give him a chance to play rugby professionally. Just looking at the rain sweeping now, and it's sweeping, interestingly, it's changed direction. It's coming from left to right as we're looking on the screen into the faces of Ireland. Good take, and there's Heaslip, dynamic as ever from the base. O'Callaghan takes it forward, O'Callaghan and O'Connell once again the engine room for Ireland, as they were right the way through the 2007 World Cup. Sexton decides to go himself. Murray having to dig the ball out, but O'Connell making some headway. That's the 22 in the back of the frame. Now the ball's out to Mike Ross. Good to see him in an Irish shirt. He's another man who's made an impact since being given the opportunity. Big tackle. More of a hug maybe from Todd Clever, but a really forceful hug as it was. Murray not throwing the 50-50 ball.
And this is exactly what Ireland needs. Hold on to the ball, keep retention of the ball. They've got themselves back into the game. Just need to be patient now and hold on to the ball.
Connell trying to deflect the attention. Now it's out to O'Driscoll, and O'Driscoll loves these sort of positions. Jennings losing his feet, but good handling from Ireland to get it out to Darcy. Darcy into Tommy Bowe, but Bowe just